Hey there, everyone. We're back for day 4. Happy Thursday. Hope you're having an awesome week. And um, again, my name is Tina Hong. I am your personal mindset and health coach. And I'm here to help you get set up for the best journey in midlife. So if you are a workaholic or a sugarholic, and you're concerned about the upcoming holidays and holiday overeating, and still want to lose those COVID pounds and avoid packing on additional pounds, this is for you. So we are on day 4, and I'm so glad you've been able to join me over this week. Um, so tonight we're going to get into the game plan before the main event. And just in quick review, I wanted to talk a little bit about what we talked about this week, and that is we talked about the never-ending struggle where you're bouncing around diet after diet with limited success, and you're sick of the weight loss roller coaster. And possibly you're concerned about your health risk at this time. Maybe you're on the edge of a healthcare crisis and you don't even know it. You have inflammation, you have joint aches and pain, possibly. Maybe you're not even moving around as much and you're starting to slow down in terms of the weather changes and so forth. Maybe you're experiencing digestive issues, and maybe if you're carrying around over 50 pounds of body fat, there's shame and there's embarrassment of having physical limitations. And so, if you're really struggling with the emotional eating and stress eating part of this and going into the holidays, this training is really important for you to really grab onto some key strategies. And tonight, I'm going to go into the game plan. We know that we talked about physical hunger versus emotional hunger and distinguishing the two. Physical hunger comes on gradually, while emotional hunger comes on all of a sudden. It takes a while for us to retrain our habits and mindset, but there's some simple things you can just begin to do. And first of all, just reorienting and identifying the purpose of eating as nourishment for your soul, nourishment and replenishment for your body is really key. You are what your body does with what you eat. So staying away from anti-nutrient foods, right? Anti-nutrient foods like that orange juice or the fast food, the convenience foods. Those foods are actually going to just quickly burn you up and give you an energy crash. So what we want to gravitate towards are nutrient dense foods, foods that are as closest to the source as possible. And we talked about this a bunch of times this week, but think about your why, what your health will look like 20 years from now. So, aside from what the next 90 days of holiday eating can look like, what you do now can actually seed and impact the next 20 years of your life. So, first of all, we talked also about hidden traps. Is it stress? Is it poor time management? What are the hidden traps that you continue to recycle over and over again? Is it limiting beliefs? When those hidden traps are not really identified clearly, you will continue to recycle and revisit those unconsciously. So, really, even stating in your journal what your triggers are and what your hidden traps are key to your success. And we talked about those SMART goals. So instead of just being like, I'd like to lose weight or I'd like to minimize eating junk, get specific. Get specific with your goals around how much, by when, and what is actually measurable and trackable over that time. And having that accountability is really, really key. So knowing where your food comes from and focusing on that mindful plate. Remember that? The mindful plate. So if you are able to focus on that mindful plate, that is a great first step. And um, uh, crowding in those leafy greens, those organic vegetables, the non-starchy vegetables, and having adequate protein, having 30 to 40% of your plate or your total daily intake to be about to be focused on the proteins you get. Design your meals around your proteins initially. This is training over the next 30 days, right up until leading up until Thanksgiving and the US Thanksgiving holiday. And I know Halloween is right around the corner in a couple of weeks. And my best advice for you in terms of it, getting around Halloween treats and candy is redefine what Halloween looks like. I know it's about treats. It's about treats. It's about fun. Um it's about surprises. So maybe this time around, don't just grab that bag of candy for Halloween treats. Maybe make it a little more creative in terms of Halloween coming up and trick or treating. Um, the other part of what we talked about, what you want to train ahead for is really nourishing that parasympathetic nervous system. We talked last night about what is your reward system? Are you getting quick highs and quick lows to be able to numb down or get an upper on a daily basis? Are you designing your operating system and continuing with that? So here's your opportunity over the next 30 days before Halloween hits. Before Thanksgiving hits, to be able to actually redefine your reward system. And part of that mindfulness practice is practicing mindful eating. Remember, we talked about the four square breath breathing while you're eating, putting your fork down, eating like the Japanese, being selective, being really choosy about what you eat, being very purposeful about what you eat in every single meal. And in incorporating an eating environment that is peaceful and calm. So these are some quick strategies that you really can, um, practice over the next 30 days before true holiday eating occasions and the big events come around. So let me just share my screen real quick. Um, Hold on a second. Let me just do this. Okay, so, okay, sorry about that. Just bear with me. Just bear with me. All right, so we had talked about the journey, the the oops, sorry about that. The journey of permanent fat loss, really over if you have more than 50 pounds of body fat to lose. Um, it takes 3 to 12 months to really get down over 50 pounds of body fat. And so, if you're a busy professional and you're working and you're juggling multiple things, it takes time to incorporate habits week to week to week. So, the first step really is nourishment. Focus on getting closest to the source and eliminating those toxins. Give yourself the next 30 days to start practicing that mindful paleo plate. The second part of it is those habits, practicing nourishing your parasympathetic system so that you're really taming your hunger, really distinguishing that physical hunger from that emotional hunger. When we are actually nourishing our parasympathetic system, meaning our nourishing our relaxation response, we're much more able to handle stress and be able to eat more mindfully. So those habits are key. Just doing that, just slowing things down are going to help you win that 90-day game plan. And the mindset piece. Um, Over time, what you're going to do if you continue to practice getting closer to the source from a nutrition standpoint, and also getting at the habits piece in terms of really creating a relaxation response, your mindset will continue to transform over time. But the first thing is really to be able to slow things down, and building a support system that is really going to encourage you, where you're not hanging around people that are eating unhealthy or who are overeating constantly or eating in front of the television. So those habits translates into mindset. When you actually put the structure into place in terms of your habits, your mindset becomes um, a natural transition over time. So this journey of permanent fat loss, really getting unhooked from sugar and refined carbohydrates, takes about 4 to 6 weeks. Um, some people maybe even sooner, but crowding in those leafy greens and practicing that mindful plate is the first step. And I would start doing that immediately. And if you need some pointers around that, definitely private message me because I would love to support you on that. Also, as you are practicing a healthy, positive mindset, you are healing that gut brain connection. And it's about redesigning your habits. So every single day, just practicing being able to be deliberate with your self care plan, deliberate with slowing down, really isolating your meal times to be pristine and uninterrupted is really key. And so these are some of the things that you can implement right away and practice over the next 30 days. I would love to check in with you over the next 90 days to make sure that you are actually doing what you're doing. Um, and really, what this entire week has been about is health revitalization. It's about decreasing stress and inflammation, countering stressful interrupters in our life, and really giving ourselves deliberate self-care through the food that we eat, through the relationships that we have, through shifting our mindset and redefining things in our lives. And when you actually incorporate better nutrition, meaning less processed foods, less convenient foods, and getting as closest to the source as possible with your food and nourishment, both on and off the plate, your mood begins to change and your palatability for sugar and refined carbohydrates definitely begin to soften. Um, so I would like you to recommit to your own health tonight. Active in creating an active service to yourself. If you are interested in saying yes to yourself, give me a yes in the comment below. Um, so imagine taking 10 pounds off during the holiday eating season. How about you approach this Thanksgiving table much more mindfully, much more selectively, and being choosy about what you take in terms of the food that you eat, the nutrition that you have, and knowing that what you do right now is seeding the next 20 years of your life. Um, when you practice intuitive eating strategies to make peace with food, you really do feel physically stronger and healthier because you're in control. You're in the driver's seat. And when you practice that mindfulness, you become more comfortable and accepting of your body image. You have increased mental clarity and focus. You feel grounded and be able to relax more easily and sleep better, and you feel more powerful and abundant and generous because you're filling your cup with self care. So, if you're interested in really turning your weight loss around for better health long term over the next 20 years, it's about sustaining a healthy mindset and habits and having this habit structure in place to make it really happen. Some of the people who I've worked with in the past have said, by working with Tina, I have noticed many positive changes in weight, energy, mood, in my appetite, in my daily activities, and working out. Not only have I changed physically, but mentally, I feel stronger, more hopeful, and more confident. Another client have said, I have seen great weight loss. My energy level has increased. I don't feel tired or sluggish after a meal. I no longer have a coffee addiction or need to feel like I have to have coffee after a meal, especially late at night. And my sweet cravings have decreased. I now eat healthier and create more nutritious options. I have more self control. I don't need to eat everything that's placed in front of me. I'm able to walk away from it. It's not a need anymore, and I can live without it. My sugar level has decreased as well. I'm shopping for fresh and nutritious foods, as well as prepping and cooking most of my meals. Another client testimonial. Awesome is one word to describe you as my health coach. Most of all, you are very sincere, encouraging, supportive, very knowledgeable, and helpful. When talking to you, I feel at ease. I can talk to you about anything. I've known you for a lot, like as if I've known you for a long time. You are good at what you do, and I would recommend anyone to see you. The biggest tangible change I have noticed since the beginning of the program has been to be able to listen to my body and be more mindful about my eating. The most significant overall change I've noticed has been able to get away from my carb dependency. I would describe Tina as very encouraging and positive, a great motivator, blah, blah, blah. Another testimonial. Tina was able to help me work through these goals by providing great advice through the whole challenge, helping me be clear with my goals and helping me feel comfortable with saying what was going on with me. A lot of times people don't even know. People are not tuned in to how we feel. And part of this is an intuitive action, is really starting to listen and slow things down. And my clients who graduate from my Tame Your Hunger program, it is a proven methodology that has worked with over 100 clients who've joined my programs over the years. And it accelerates your weight loss goals without feeling deprived. And how about feeling more emotionally rewarded and not using food as a source of reward or pleasure? And it's about organizing life to be more mindful about self care and nourishment and upholding healthy boundaries so you won't be taken off your game plan. And further, you're going to improve your health markers. It's really going to change the next 20 years of your life and the outcome of your health status. So the other upside potential to the Tame Your Hunger fat loss program is really about gaining new confidence with your whole self and feeling stronger and healthier to tackle on whatever comes up when you feel like you want to beat yourself up. And all of those negative beliefs and programming and negative thoughts do come up over time. And to counterbalance that habit retraining, um, putting those structures into place and slowing things down and being more compassionate with yourself is the ticket to freedom and having a better relationship with food. So if you want to get rid of that unwanted weight and not be in the position of packing on additional 10, 15 pounds over the next 90 days, here we go. Here's an opportunity for you. I am offering my masterclass attendees limited spots to a Tame Your Hunger compact program. It's a total of 4 60-minute personalized one on one sessions specifically to help you tame your hunger in more detail. In session one, we get into onboarding, nourishment. We do a whole health history review if we haven't. We really get into what's in, what's not in, and look at your macros specifically targeted to you. And I help you get started setting intentions and creating simple agreements to help you get started and on your way. So you will have everything you need to get started right away. The second session we have together is about emotional mindset. And it's about motivation retraining. It's about really the food and mood game plan and being able to actually take your habits and design a structure and also your mindset to be able to really be successful long term. The retrain your habits are tools that you can actually take with you on a day to day basis. And if you continue to practice from week to week to week, you will make those transitions. And then the third session is solely dedicated to mindset work. It's about your emotional relationship with food and reprogramming your mindset and your beliefs and your stories that it is possible and that you can continue. So, I am also adding a bonus session of a 21-day follow up. So, 3 sessions personalized specifically for you. It's a value of $12.97 in my personalized one on one coaching programs. What I'm offering to you tonight for a limited time until Monday is um, a masterclass attendee offer of $5.97. I'm giving this to you because I want you to be successful. I want you to apply for this spot by booking your 30-minute discovery call now. So this is going to be specific for you. It's hard for me to just give you broad spectrum of training and make it applicable to you specifically. We need to get specific and smart with your goals. And so, this is your opportunity to do that now. So, those of you who are in my Make Life Delicious page who have not gone through the discovery call process with me, I encourage you. You're going to learn, you're going to really uncover your hidden traps during that call and to be able to outline what's going to be best for you going forward. And so I'm offering limited spots at this deal for the masterclass attendees. And I want to know that you're committed. And these are for this program, the one-on-one coaching, Tame Your Hunger coaching sessions that are personalized for you are for people who are really committed. That's why I'm asking you to book that 30-minute discovery call. And you can go to my calendar at bit.ly/discover tame your hunger and book that 30-minute call right now. And let's get you onboarded so you can actually start leveraging the tools that we learned this week and to actually take it to the next level. Take it to a detailed level and get specific with your specific concerns, challenges, interference, and also the game plan for you. So, just in review, um, if you didn't want to go proceed on the one-on-one program, which I don't know why you wouldn't, but if you wanted to just proceed on your own, the most important things are to really get closest to the source. Eliminate those toxins. Get that out of your system over the next 30 days. That nourishment and really cleaning out your cupboards, your refrigerator, really cleaning out your takeout consumption and you're eating away from home, you can be just as successful, but being really choosy and getting closest to the source without a lot of you know um, packaged, processed, refined foods is number one. That's your number one goal in the next 30 days. And crowding in that mindful paleo plate will really, really do you so much justice right before going into the holidays. Habits, again, around the habits, putting that structure around your mindful eating. Just start with your meals. Just start with just your meal times and taking 20 minutes out of your day for each meal to actually slow things down, to savor your meal, to actually taste your food, and to have positive thoughts going into your meal. I want you to practice that for the next 30 days. And then again, the mindset piece. Building a support system, including your family and friends, and an accountability partner around what you determine as your specific goal over the next 90 days is really key. Maybe it's about not gaining a pound. So basically, maintaining your existing weight. I have a feeling that you may actually put a goal on the board to actually lose body fat over the next 90 days. And believe it or not, it's totally possible to do that through Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and even into the new year. So I invite you to be part of this 90-day game plan. I want you to get started with these simple three first steps and give me a comment below with questions. I mean, it seems like really kind of, very simple. It's very simple. Just practice that mindful paleo plate, eliminate those toxins, get out of the processed foods and refined carbohydrates, and go into nourishing your parasympathetic nervous system. So, any questions right now? If you have any questions, give me a comment, give me a thought. Um, but I wanted to just let me stop this share screen. This offer. I mean, I'm doing this for people who are really committed because over the next 90 days, I know it's going to be hard for some of you. I know it's going to be really hard, and I want to be there for you. And so this is my way of gifting you the gift of health over the holiday season, and giving you the support that you need. While you can get started on your own, when we get together on that discovery call and actually dig into your challenges and the interference and that you face on a daily basis, that's when you get more specific. That's when we can identify strategies specific to you. So that 597 offer for 4 coaching sessions, 3 up front over nourishment, mindset, and habits, and then a follow up after 21 days is going to help you get set to be able to do things a lot more successfully. But in the meantime, what you can do is just get started in practicing that mindful paleo plate. That is the game plan. And it's as simple as that. If you have any questions, drop your questions below. I can see your comments. So let me know if any of that makes sense or if you have questions about that. There's a lot there's a lot of work to do here, and I'm trying to simplify it as much as possible for you. Number one, it's about nourishment. Get rid of those toxins and get closest to the source and practice that mindful paleo plate. Number two, get your habits in check and practice nourishing that parasympathetic. So making self-care deliberate every single step of the way, every single day, scheduling in self care time. And self care time can be prepping your foods, it could be sleeping more. It's about, um, someone asked, how much fat can you lose in about a month? Well, if you practice this and would truly, truly be able to eliminate some of those processed foods and toxins, just going through those eliminations and focusing on the structure of your habits, you can lose about 5 pounds in the first month, maybe even a little bit more. That's realistic. You can naturally lose about a pound to a pound and a half every week. That's kind of realistic, not crash course dieting. Over 90 days, what is possible is, yes, some people, depending on what weight you're at, you can lose up to 15 pounds over the next 90 days, even through the holidays. And if you needed support around that and getting started, losing 15 before the new year starts, um, that is going to be about weekly coaching and being able to help you navigate on a week to week basis, making those changes. But if you want a potent impact and a Get Start program, I encourage you to just get started with the Tame Your Hunger Jumpstart and doing one on one. And I specifically am making a personalized one on one program offer during this masterclass series because everybody has different challenges. And I really want you to have impact. I want it to be specific for you. So that's a great question. Thank you for typing that question in. I don't, you could um, accept StreamYard in the link in the description, but basically, so I can see who it is commenting. But yes, what you can realistically expect is about a pound to a pound and a half fat loss every single week. And if you wanted to accelerate that, we could certainly talk about how we can do that more efficiently and more easily. But the first simple step is really just clearing away those processed foods, the convenience foods, and the things that are actually creating interference with your digestion and your ability to actually use your food as fuel. So, remember, we talked about body composition. We talked about not having quick insulin hits and crashes, So we need that coal burning fuel. And if you practice that mindful paleo plate, it will train your body. It will train your operating system to expect that. If you can eat like that on a daily basis, I promise you, you will start seeing the weight move, the scale move. So and on top of that, the habits and mindset piece is truly the long-term piece. Any other questions that you might have, guys? And if you're watching the replay, I'm going to be checking back on these comments. And so definitely put those questions into the comments so that I can help you. Uh, I can't see who this Facebook user is. In the description of this post, the video post, there should be accept StreamYard. There's a link. If you click on that link, it will take you to accept StreamYard and Facebook, so I can see who's chatting in the questions. Or put your name into the chat if you can't find that link. Let me know who it is, so that I know who's joining me tonight. I want this to be a Q&A time so that you can utilize this coaching experience. Um, Give me any questions that might be coming up in your mind. Can you explain how to do that again? Explain how to do what? What part of it? What can you be more specific with your question? All right. No specifics? Here's some other ideas that I have, that I probably didn't show who we are. Oh, okay. In the post, in my video post above, there should be a description with a title, and it says if you want to accept StreamYard, there should be a link. Is there any way you can find that link, or just type in your name? That's fine. If you hopefully in that description it says, if you'd like to accept StreamYard, just scroll down to the description. It should have a click here. Um, I don't know what that means. Pairing with rum diplomatico. I'm not really sure who that is. Thank you. Okay, so maybe it's not in there. Okay, thanks, Fred. And I don't know who that is who's texting or messaging from Venezuela. Welcome. Thank you for joining me tonight. So here's another thing before the main event. And this is a strategy that I recommend to a lot of people. Um, is before the main event, sometimes what is being served is out of your control, right? So maybe you're not hosting and you're basically kind of confined to whatever is going to be served at the dinner table, at your Thanksgiving event, at your holiday event, even when you're going out to restaurants, okay? So, one thing that I recommend is calling up your host and saying, "Hey, host, hey, mom and dad, what's for dinner? What's on the menu?" And having an idea before going into the main event, what is actually going to be served, can really do you huge wonders because then you can say, "Wow, there is mostly mashed potatoes and starchy foods that are going to be served, and a lot of carbohydrates that are going to be served." Ask them, are there leafy greens? Are there going to be salads? Are there going to be, what kind of proteins are going to be served? So, one thing you can do in like a Thanksgiving meal is bring food, is bring something that you do have control over. So, bring making something or buying something that you know that you're going to be in your lane in terms of the mindful paleo plate. Um, and making it delicious for yourself that you can share with others. So that's one thing. Another thing is when you're going out to restaurants, maybe there's holiday eating occasions when you're actually meeting at a restaurant or it's at a planned event at a banquet hall or something like that. Call ahead and actually take a look at the menu. How many people do that? Say yes or no. When I go out to eat, when I'm dining out, I look at the menu. I decide on what I'm going to eat actually before I arrive. It's not about being reactionary with your food because when you're being reactionary with your food, that's emotional, right? That's like feeding your emotional addicted brain. So when you are actually calling ahead and really identifying if the food that is being served is not on our nutritional plan, is it better to just eat something correct before you go? Yeah, that's a great strategy. Thanks, Fred. Yes. Also, depending on the timing of your planned meal or planned main event, don't go in starving, right? Really timing when you're going to have um, adequate protein in the beginning of the day or the middle of the day, a few hours before you go to the main event can actually help you prevent you from overeating and overindulging for sure. And you're going to go into the main event in much more control. And that goes the same with drinking. So, with alcohol consumption, that's a huge thing, right? So, again, when we are emotional about our food, it's about being reactive. It's about reacting and feeling like, oh yeah, I have to be social. I have to, do this, or this is what I think I should do, right? If you go into the main event with a game plan and saying, I'm just going to have one glass of wine, or I'm just going to have two glasses of wine, and that's it. That's it with my meal, and that's it. But oftentimes, what happens before you go to a party or a main event, what happens? Okay, you start with a pre-drink, then a cocktail, and then another cocktail, and then by the end of the night, you've had five or six. So going into pre-gaming actually into the main event, just decide on how much you're going to have and by when. Also, you can say, I need to stop drinking by 10 o'clock. My last drink is at 7 o'clock. You can actually be very specific with your goals that way. And same thing with your food. So pre-game planning, like actually before you get to the main event, first knowing what's going to be served, and then secondly saying, okay, well, we're not going to eat till 5 o'clock, so I want to make sure that I eat by 12 or by 2 o'clock the latest, so that actually I can digest my food before going into another meal. But don't plan on, a lot of people go into Thanksgiving starving, right? This is what causes overeating, actually. They know they're just getting ready for this overindulgent event, and they don't eat anything all day long. And so what you can do, if overindulgence, and you don't have control over mindful eating yet, what you can do is protein up before you actually go to your Thanksgiving meal earlier in the day. Now, um, you have 30 days before Thanksgiving in the US here. I know Canada just recently had their Thanksgiving, but here's the thing. You have, about a month right now, 30 days before Thanksgiving. Your opportunity here is to really reprogram your mindful eating habits, slowing down and noticing. This is so critical. You think it's not important or that it's not going to work, but people have lost, you know, tens of 20, 30, 50 pounds just practicing mindful eating. So here's your chance in really getting that structure of mindful eating, and also your mindful eating experience into play, in terms of not multitasking while you're eating, really going into your meal with positive thoughts and positive energy, and without shame, without guilt, without negativity, without anger. Those kinds of things are totally within your control. Any other questions? I don't know what's aging. So my friend from Venezuela is smoking and drinking rum somewhere. Well, I hope it's really enjoyable. I'm not sure if you're joking around, but um, I hope you are healthy and truly living your best life in terms of your health. Hopefully, you're being mindful in every step of the way before the holidays. And so I hope that question was um, positive and supportive, and actually answered your question. What other questions might I have? Any other questions? So I really broke it down to three simple things again, and not to continue to repeat myself, but one, clean it out. Actually, get rid of the convenience, refined carbohydrates, and the sugars. All right. It really requires a complete elimination, it's just dropping it, getting it out of your system, and getting it away from your kitchen, and being able to eat as closest to to the source. When you actually say to yourself, I'm going to eat closest to the source instead of I have to eliminate, it's a different way of looking at things. When you say I'm going to eat as closest to the source, the goal kind of changes, and automatically all those things that are refined carbohydrates and sugars kind of fall off that plate. And so if you can target eating as closest to the source every single meal that you have in one day, eating as close as the source means no wrappers, no boxes, um, no, no processed foods, no frozen foods that are just quick, microwavable foods. It's eating whole foods and whole proteins and vegetables, from a farm or from the grocery store, and making that and prepping that at home. Or when you're eating out, just having, requesting at the restaurant to have your whole proteins, your fish or your steak or your chicken in a pristine format, not overloaded with too many sugary or salty sauces and so forth. Um, and eliminating those starches in terms of the potatoes and the french fries and all of those things that have that bad oil we talked about, the industrial oils. So being choosy about where you dine out is really, really key to your success. identifying the restaurants where you know you're going to be successful in terms of, maybe it's a restaurant that is going to have barbecue, but you can actually have less sauce on it. Or you can identify if you're going to a sushi restaurant, you can just have sashimi and no rice or less rice than you normally do. Or if you go to a Mediterranean restaurant, you can have a lot of grilled foods. Or so making choices in terms of the types of dining out restaurants is also key. That can help you, especially during the holiday convening and holiday get-togethers away from someone's home. And if you are going to somebody's home, calling ahead and saying, what do you have planned in terms of the food, and saying, I'm trying to strict, stick to a certain food program right now over the next 90 days. And just wondering what you're planning to have there. And if there's something I can bring or share along, um, that would be as good as well. So that's another strategy. And then I guess the habits part. The other thing I continue to mention and repeat myself saying is, really keeping that stress low. All right. So, whatever fear that comes up, whatever anxiety that comes up with the holidays, counterbalancing that is going to be your ticket. Counterbalancing that, slowing things down. Everything becomes really frenzied around the holidays. But what if you were actually counterbalancing on a day-to-day basis? So if you were, challenged with stressful interference 8 hours a day, it's almost like you need 8 hours of counterbalance of self-care. Now, who has that, right? Not a lot of people have all that time to counterbalance that stress, that 8 hours of enduring stress at work, or enduring whatever stressful condition that you may be dealing with. But what I want you to think about that, how can you counterbalance and nourish that parasympathetic, that relaxation response? So if you have a big chunk of the day where you are just like on your computer and stressed out, you're not getting a break at all, think about what's 1 or 2 hours you can take when you get home, or your wind down routine before you go to sleep, to actually counterbalance that stress, to recover yourself. It's all about recovery, just like in exercise. When we're actually exercise, we're not losing body fat or building muscle while we're exercising. And we didn't get into much of exercise this week, but I did talk about movement and getting circulation, getting into nature, and all of that. But if you are continuing to do weight training and um, you know um, weightlifting once or twice a week, that helps your metabolism, because basically you're utilizing that fuel that you're eating on a daily basis to fuel building new muscle tissue and new bone density, right? So utilizing that energy, the food source, as data, as way of recovering and replenishing. So what I was going to say was that recovery is huge. So, you know, I should call this program Recover Myself program, right? Recover My Body program, because really that's what it is. I mean, the mindset and habits is one piece of it, but really it's about recovering your health. It's about recovering your best health. And it doesn't happen overnight, but you can begin training your new operating system to accept new data and as the norm. So if you are continuing with your reward system, with your uppers and downers that are actually hurting you, actually not serving your weight loss goals, then that's going to be conditioning for the long term. So here is the time to actually be able to turn that around over the next 30 days. Tomorrow night, I'm going to get into envisioning. And I am recently certified as a neurolinguistic programming practitioner, and it is a form of hypnosis. And I've been incorporating that into my client work over the last few months, and it's been proven to be really powerful. And it was the piece that I wanted to help my clients to actually take to the next level. And so, tomorrow night, I'm going to go over an exercise with you to help you reprogram that mindset on those stories and beliefs. So, I really hope you can join me. And if you have further questions, please put the questions in the chat below. This offer that I made tonight is good through Monday only. I'm only accepting a few participants, and it's really by application only because I really don't make that kind of offer ever. So please do me this favor and private message me or go to discover bit.ly/, discover tame your hunger as a way to actually book that 30-minute discovery call before the end of the week. And then you'd be eligible to join in that offer. And I am so happily, able to serve you during that time and personalize that experience for you. Anyway, thanks, Fred, for your support. Um, and everyone, I just want to wish you a wonderful night. And I will see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. Tomorrow's going to be kick ass. Okay. So tonight, I kind of gave you some 3 simple steps to get started in terms of your pre-game plan and gave you some additional tips. But tomorrow night, let's practice reprogramming that mindset. So that's the last piece of my 5-day training. If you still are catching up on all these trainings, I encourage you to do that and do the stickers. Okay. So do the stickers, and I can, you're still eligible for that $1,000 coaching package. And I would love for you to be the one to win that. So follow the stickers and do the homework and post below the stickers under Tame Your Hunger. If you search under hashtag Tame Your Hunger in the group, all the homework assignments will come up. So catch up on the replays, look up the Tame Your Hunger homework assignments, and make your posts. And I will announce the winner probably on Monday, give you some time to do that. But in the meantime, by Friday, definitely book your discovery call. All right, guys, have a great night. Thank you so much for joining me. See you tomorrow night on Mindset and Envisioning.